Last month, I worked on a Fresh Princess themed party and I made some custom cutouts and I was asked to create a tutorial for some of the cutouts. So today we're starting with the bamboo earring custom centerpiece cutout. Ask and you shall receive. So I'm going to get into today's tutorial. First, you're going to need the SVG file, which you can find on my website, thecraftprintshop.com. Then you're going to need the image. I'm going to have the link in the description of this video. I got this from Etsy. And then we're going to head on over into Design Space and get working on our Cricut. Also, too, there is no back. The back is just blank. When I originally made it for the customer, they were putting it on a stand with balloons. You can do whatever you want with it, stick it onto whatever, but I'm just going to show you how to design and make these right quick, right? If you're new here, it's me, Shondell, your new favorite crafter, the creator of the Craft Print. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow me on all social platforms. I am the Craft Print. Now let's get into today's. All right, so we're going to start first in Cricut Design Space. You're going to just go click on Canvas, and we have our new project, right? Before you do anything, go to the top right here, and you're going to choose the machine that you're working on. Today I'm working on the Maker 4, so I'm going to select the Maker 4. You're going to get the SVG file from the craftprintshop.com. You're going to go to Uploads on the left. You're going to go to Upload Image right here. Click on Browse. Then right here, it is the folder. Because you're getting 3 files, it's going to be in a folder. You're just going to double click and open a folder and select the size, not the size, select the shape that you want. And we're using the circle. You're going to select open. The image is here. You're going to click. You're going to click on continue. You can change the name if you want and add tags. That's like search terms that you'd use when you go to all of your uploads, because after you start uploading a lot of files, it's a lot to scan through. So you could just add the tags of what you would search if you didn't remember that you saved it as bamboo earring. Then go to upload. And this is our file right here. Now, this one, I like to change my images to the colors I'm going to cut them on. So I always choose a light yellow color, and that represents metallic cardstock for me. You're going to click on this little pencil right here. And then you're going to go to offset. And right here, the 0.25 offset, if you like that kind of width, I'm going to go in just a little bit. I don't like big offsets. I like them kind of close to my cutout. I don't know. Just a choice. So I'm at 0.153. I'm going to click apply. Now we're going to change this to that darker orangish yellow color. That represents the glitter cardstock, right? We're going to highlight both. You're going to right click and group them together. Just so when we move them, we're moving those pieces together. I'm going to change the width to 11.5 inches. And that's the size we're going to cut. Now for the name, I went to Etsy. All right, so right here, this is the file that I purchased. Oh, it's not there anymore. I guess that person stopped selling it. Let me see, can I still download it? I can still download it though. So they had the font and then the Fresh Princess logo for sale. So I'm gonna type in Fresh Princess. So here on Etsy, they have a bunch of different Fresh Princess that you can purchase. And right here, these are the like font. It's not a font. It's an SVG. With a font, you download it to your computer, and then once you type it and choose it, and you start typing whatever, that font will show. These are individual letters that you'll have to upload and then organize it the way that you want. So let's go back to Design Space. And we're going to go back to Uploads. You're going to upload image, browse, and then we're going to go back to download. And right here, you go to the PNG, and these are the individual letters here. So let's say we were spelling out a name. You would have to do it one at a time. Take the letter M, go through the whole process. There's nothing to change. Choose a flat graphic because that's an image. If it's one layer, you see you're just getting the outer layer. You're going to choose flat graphic because it's an image, and then you're going to continue. Upload. And you would do that for every letter spelling out the person's custom name. For the Fresh Princess image, I'm just going to go going through all of my uploads. You see here, this is where I had uploaded the name, each letter. And then right here, I have Fresh Princess as one image. So I'm going to add to canvas. So we have Fresh Princess here. You're going to click the little pen at the top left. Then you're going to select offset. I'm going to bring it down in a little closer because I like my offsets close. So here's the thing. I'm going to click apply. Now, if you look up here, when you go to change your offset color, it's telling you that it's a print and cut. Because when you put an offset onto something, that offset is going to mimic the image that you used. So this is a print and cut. So the offset is a print and cut. You have to go in and change that to basic cut. And then the first layer I'm doing on with glitter. So the darker color is representation for my glitter. We're going to go back, hit the offset button again, click apply, and that is going to be the lighter yellow that I'm using to represent the metallic. Then on these three layers, I'm just going to highlight all three of them. I did it from the right side on the layers panel. You can hold shift and select everything that you want to be highlighted. Right click and you're going to group it together. And now it's grouped together so that when I move it around, they can move around together. Then you're going to size it on how big you want it to fit. Bring it down here. If you want it to fill out the whole entire part of the earring, you want it to come a little bit in, however you choose. Whether you want it to be sides, you can put it up top here, center, on the bottom, wherever you want it to be. Size it to the size that you want it. I want it to go a little bit more where it kind of covers here. And then that's it. That's the full design of the centerpiece. The next step is you're going to go to save because you don't want to lose what you've done. You're going to save the project under whatever name it is. We're going to go with bamboo earring. And then you're going to save. Now that I have this project saved, to cut time, I'm going to cut on 2 machines. You don't have to. This is not a long project, but I'm just going to send it to 2. So what we're going to do is we're going to minimize the screen. I'm going to lower that. I'm going to go to the top left. I'm going to click on File, New Window. That's the new window that's opened up here. This is our original window here. I'm just going to bring this down large enough for us to have some space. I'm going to do the same. And this way, I have 2 design spaces open. This second one, I'm going to send it to the Explore 4. It's going to be connecting. You're going to click on My Stuff, and then that will take you to everything that you have saved. I'm just going to open up the project we just did. We're going to go to Customize, just so we can see it. Now, from here, you could send the full project to both machines and just select. But if you want to make sure that you don't make any mistakes, what you can do, we're going to move these off. We're going to ungroup from this one. And what we're going to do, ungroup. Now this machine, I'm going to keep the metallic, take away the glitter. I'm going to keep the print and cut here, take away the glitter. So I know that on the Explore 4, I'm going to do the print and cut. and the metallic layers. And then on this one, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to ungroup, take away the print and cut, take away the metallic, and just leave the glitter. We're going to click Make It on both design spaces. We're going to select on the mat and continue. Now for this one here, I'm going to change. I'm going to change the paper size to 8.5 by 11. Then right here, I'm going to change it to on the mat. So as you can see, we have one print and cut, and we have two metallic sheets to cut. On the second one, right now it's actually on 12 by 24. We're just going to switch it to the, oh, hold on. So in this case, right, it's a little bit, Cricut is reading this as if it's a little bit over 11.5 inches. But if you see close up here, it's right under the 12-inch mark. But when you go over to material size, it doesn't give you the option for 12 by 12 because it's reading it as a little bit larger than 12 by 12. So in this case, what you can do, you can use your 12 by 24 mat and just line up your projects on the mat. So right here, the 12 by 12 glitter is going to go here. And just remember, you start in the second one on the 13 inches right here. So let's press continue. Oh, I just want to add. So if you don't have a 12 by 24 mat and you want to use a 12 by 12 mat, go in and just make the full project just a little bit smaller, like a few, not inches, like a half an inch smaller, and it'll come back and it'll be able to cut on the 12 by 12 mat. So we're going to click continue on both. Let me select this print and cut layer, continue. So for the print and cut, we're going to send to print. You're going to select next. Every time you do a print and cut, you're going to select use system dialog. You're going to open that up down here, then select print. And what that does, it will pop up the options for your printer. So right here, if you don't have design space open to the full screen, it's going to pop up in the background. Just grab it right here. So print and cut is really simple. It's you're sending your printed image to your printer, printing it out, and then allowing the Cricut to cut on it. I have multiple videos showing print and cut, but literally that's what I did here. I uploaded this fresh print design. It's a print, it's a flat image, and now I'm sending it to my printer. So with my printer, I have a rear feeder that can fit thicker materials. So I'm going to select under the media and quality tab here. I'm going to send it to the rear tray. Then you have your options on what type of paper to use. Those are all of your options. Envelope, high quality plain paper, photo, photo glossy, photo high gloss paper. Y'all see, I always choose photo glossy paper. So once you're done that, you're going to select print. Done. I always choose the thickest. I choose poster board. You're going to select remember material because every time you go to a new mat, your Cricut is going to stop and ask you what material. If you click remember material, it'll stay the same for every one. But that's because I have the same materials. If you had like cardstock and then you have vinyl, you would have to come in and change it. So for the second mat, I'm choosing poster board. This is the 12 by 24 mat. So it's just going to be just one cut, right?
Okay, so now the paper that I use is the glossy cardstock from Pretty Party and Crafty. It's the 96 pound. I will link all of the supplies in the description. So I feed it into the rear feeder of my printer and just confirm which paper that I added, and then it prints out. I'm not going to show the whole print because that'll take up most of our time. So sped it up. And now if you're new to print and cut, when you print out an image, it has those 4 registration lines. You see like an L shape. You're going to place your picture or paper at the top left of your mat, right? Just line it up with the white line. Then this isn't a sticky mat, so that was the brayer that I used to press down on it. It's a very old mat. And then I'm using these like labels, sticker labels, just to hold it in place for extra security because the mat is so old. Now, if you're going to use anything, make sure it's not really sticky. And when you're pressing it on the paper, make sure it doesn't touch your print or your registration lines. Then I fed it into the printer. You print the blinking line, and then once it's done, it tells you to play. You're going to press play. While it's cutting that print, I'm going to just line up my glitter paper on the 12 by 24 mat. And I'm going to show you, so you just line them up right up under each other. But remember when I said don't put anything on the 12-inch line, I put it at 13. That's so that space right there where the two papers meet, my cut isn't cutting over that, right? So then it'll just split your image right down the middle because it's not a full sheet of 12 by 24 cardstock. Now, the glitter paper is from my website, thecraftprintshop.com, along with the metallic paper. Now, don't mind my messy craft room. I put a piece of board like underneath my mat just to give it a little bit more support. Then we're going to just take all of our pieces off and get ready for our cut, right? So now that we have everything here, we're going to assemble. We're going to use, I'm using the Ryobi glue pen because it's not as hot as the glue gun and it's for smaller projects. I have scraps of foam board. You can find these at the Dollar Tree or a local variety shop. And then I'm using Cricut's True Control knife. That's just to cut the foam board. You can use an X-Acto knife or whatever. So I'm going to start with the two bottom layers, which is the glitter on top of the metallic. So I'm just slicing simple. It doesn't even have to be neat. It doesn't have to be straight. You're not necessarily going to see it. It just needs to fit within your image and make sure it's not going past the image where you can see it from a distance. You want these layers within your image, right? And then for the edge piece, I'm just cutting a little square. I'm going to glue them onto that. And this is just to give your project dimension. If you glue it flat, it doesn't look as good as when it has dimension, right? So I just randomly got some glue sticks. So you're just going to glue it. Now, if you're new to crafting, understand that when you're gluing, there's no perfect science. Just get that glue on there. Unless somebody is seeing you the glue, then you'll be neat. Otherwise, dab the glue on there and glue that bad boy together. And then I'm just laying it to make sure I just kind of ahead of time know where it's going, because this part, you have to move a little bit fast if you're going to use hot glue, because hot glue dries really quickly. If you're not good with a hot glue gun and you think you're not going to move fast enough because you're new, you can try like the Beacon 3-in-1 glue or any kind of tacky glue that'll give you some time because it needs like drying time. So that's how the two layers look. We're going to repeat the same process for our fresh princess lettering. And then you're going to, like I said, just dab that glue on there, no right or wrong way. And this is how it look. I absolutely love it. And now we're going to move on to repeating the process, but we're not going to use the foam board for this one because you would have to cut too many strips. You see all the intricate pieces in the bamboo earring. So I'm going to use this, I think it's called like foam tape. You can get it from the Dollar Tree. It comes in like 3 sizes. Just choose the one that could fit on there properly. And we're going to line it up and make sure it's not showing through those little slits in the bamboo earring. So you're going to go all the way around and it's your choice. I like the dimension to be a little higher. So what I did was I peeled off the tape and I didn't stick it on yet. I added another layer on top of that to give it a little bit more height so that it could have a little more dimension. Also, because this is actually a little bit thinner than the foam board, so it needed a little bit more height to kind of look like the same size when it comes to dimension, if you understand what I'm saying. Now, because this layer is going to be glued on glitter cardstock, I'm going to reinforce it a little with a little bit of the hot glue, because when you glue stuff on glitter, the glitter can kind of make it not so like make the adhesive loosen up after some time. That's what I was trying to say. So you just lay that on top of it and look at our layered bamboo earring. At the edge there, it was a little bit off for me, but again, hot glue dries really quickly, so I had to like rush and make sure I get it on there before it started to dry, right? So now we're going to just get the sign that we did at first, the first 3 layers. You're going to lay it on top of the earring before gluing it. just to see where you want it, and also to know where you're going to put the glue on the edges that's actually touching the earrings, right? So that's those 3 parts I showed you. So I'm going to add the glue to those edges, and then I'm going to press it down on the earring. And that is it. Make sure you guys are subscribed for more crafty, beautiful content from the craft print, me, myself, and I. Anyway, just joking. But so this customer, she used it for a centerpiece. You can use it for whatever you want to use it. And let me know. Tag me if you decide to make one also.